All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of SCSRA Live. Tonight, we are going to be joined by Tylor Powers, one of the rookies here in the SCSRA. We're going to bring him on here in just a second. We're going to be going over the races tonight, both the Intensity Apparel Truck Series, as well as the Dev Butch Cards NextGen Series. It was a wild week, to say the least. The truck race was kind of uneventful. The NextGen race was our biggest field we've ever had, so it was a big one. Really a lot of good, clean racing, except for the cautions. There was plenty of those, but it is Daytona. We kind of expect that to happen, so I'm not really too worried about that. But let's bring on Tylor Powers now. Tylor, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Wonderful, bud. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
You know, after last night, I am doing fantastic. And we'll get into why later. But man, it was a good week. We got a lot of the hiccups and bumps out of the road or down off the road, so we'll be good for next week. As from an admin standpoint, everything is going well. How'd the races go for you this week?
It was going pretty good yesterday, but it got a little rough there at the end.
Yeah.
I thought I had a shot at the win, but we'll go over that later.
Yeah, for sure. So Tylor, tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from? How long you been on iRacing? What do you do? Where'd you find us? That kind of stuff.
I'm currently located in Kentucky, from Flint, Michigan. I've been iRacing for about, give or take, 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I've raced in multiple leagues before. I found you guys through through Devin, and decided you guys look pretty cool. You guys look like a good bunch of guys, and decided to join up and see what you guys are all about.
For sure, man. So probably Facebook or something.
Yep, Facebook group.
Yeah.
Racing leagues.
Yeah, we tried the recruiting race option, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I think 2 seasons ago we were really heavy on like recruiting races, and we only got like 3 guys. Facebook seems to be the place to recruit, but you kind of don't know what you're getting because you don't know how they run. Whole idea behind a recruitment race is just to see how people race around each other, and if you can't get that idea, if you're recruiting from Facebook, I mean, you're kind of just stuck with what you got. Which, honestly, for the last 2 seasons, has not done us bad. We have a really good rookie class this season, including yourself. So we've got a great rookie class, and so that's definitely a good thing. Very clean, surprisingly. So the truck race went pretty well. The NextGen race was, I don't know, it's kind of a mixed bag. It was between rookies and between like the veterans. So it kind of was a catch-22. I mean, we can't really blame anybody for any one thing, you know?
Yeah, and they've been changing this car a lot with the drafting tracks. I feel like it's a lot more volatile. If you hit in the wrong spot, it's easy to hook somebody. And also, I noticed towards the end of the runs yesterday, it was getting loose out of the corner quite a bit, especially if you had somebody on your back bumper.
I noticed that too. I mean, Devin was talking about that a lot, how like when he was coming off of 4, it sounded like he was getting loose. He wanted to add sandbags to his car. I'm like, how are you getting loose? Granted, I was in the back, so I didn't have anybody on my bumper. But man, when I guess the setup for whatever reason did that, it was loose for everybody. When I ran the Daytona 500, I ran a VRS setup, and I didn't have a problem at all for 200 laps, no matter how hard someone was pushing me. So, you know, we've had the conversation before about going to like an open setup, to where people, you know, fix your setup the way you want, but it kind of puts a hindrance on the people that don't know how to set up the cars than the people that spend the time to learn how to do, you know? So we were just stuck with what we got with iRacing. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's understandable. I definitely don't know how to set up a car, so I'd probably be in that group.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so you said you've been on iRacing for 4 or 5 years. Do you race primarily ovals? Do you do road racing too?
Um, I I've been doing a lot better in road racing. I have my B license in road racing. Um, I do dirt road a lot, so I
Hmm.
do rallycross racing. I
Okay.
got a license over there. And yeah, that's those are my pretty much my primaries. I tried um, dirt oval, but I am not good at dirt oval when it gets up to like the 410 sprint cars and stuff like that. I can't. I
Those
can't.
things are wicked though,
Yeah, it takes a lot of muscle memory and a
for
lot
sure.
of time to study that.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things are a hoot though. Once you figure them out, and I mean it's a lot of it's a lot of pedal down. There's not a lot of lifting in those things, and they're incredibly fast and
Yeah,
fun
they
to
are.
drive if you can figure it out. So primarily oval road, some road, but the dirt road too. Okay. What's your favorite oval track so far?
One I find myself winning at a lot would be Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, that just it fits my driving style quite
Yeah.
a bit. Just running it in there, letting it go up to the wall, and pedaling it out. But I also really like the mile-and-a-half tracks. They usually do good. I'm actually excited if I get into the playoffs and make it really deep. Towards the end of the season, I'm excited for the championship race to be in Las Vegas instead of Phoenix.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I used to have problems with Phoenix, but I actually did some training with one of the Coca-Cola Racing Series drivers at Phoenix to improve there. And I've improved quite a bit. I usually get top fives in ranked. It's not my favorite track, but I can make do
Yeah.
there. So
Take note, everybody. Bristol and Las Vegas. Watch out for them. For everyone who's watching. Okay. So I think that's really all I got. Let's talk about iRacing for a second because there's been a lot of not leaks, but information they've put out about rain, and it's coming in the next update and XRX actually. So, have you looked into like the rain? Have you looked into the rain stuff at all?
I've seen the videos on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to try it out. Um, the road course stuff.
Yeah.
I heard it's only coming for the road course right now, and
Correct.
then they have a plan for oval in the future.
Correct.
But
So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
there are 8 cars. Um, let me see here. I think it was. Oh no, it was the entire IMSA series that they've done rain for. So the LMDH cars, basically all the cars that ran the Daytona 500, or not Daytona 500. The
Rolex.
yeah, the 24 hour. So it's also the Ray FF 1600, the Toyota GR86, and the Ferrari 296 GT3. But since that didn't release, so it was supposed to be released at this update, but they held back for whatever reason, and since then they're able to add more cars to it. So the 11 card field, the endurance cars, so the GT3 cars, GTP, LMP2, FF 1600, GR86, and the FIA F4 will all include rain. So it looks really interesting. Hang on, let me share this. Screen share.
So it sounds like mostly endurance racing, maybe that you're going to see this on.
Endurance and a lot of road racing.
Yeah,
So
GP 3 class. And
yeah, yeah. So here's the FIA 4. So my concern is I know that it might be this article where it talks about it, but rain in every other game or simulator has always taken a huge toll on a GPU. Hang on. Kids these days. So there was so every for rain in every other game has taken kind of a toll on a computer because it's a lot of computations for rain and puddles and all that other stuff. But supposedly the way that the rain system is designed in iRacing is going to take more of a hit on the CPU than it is the GPU, which I don't understand. I guess the physics or the physics of it's going to be processed by PC or computer or CPUs. So I'm interested to see how that works, but also I'm interested to see how puddles work because the last game I think that implemented rain kind of okay was what was not R Factor. Which one was it? I
Assetto
can't remember.
Corsa?
I don't remember if
Or they
Assetto
didn't
Corsa
have
has
rain?
rain.
No.
I can't remember the
To be
name for it.
honest, I haven't played a simulator that actually had a true rain physics in
Right,
it, like hydroplaning,
right,
you know, the loss of traction,
right.
uh, live weather where it clears up after a while and it's not just a constant downpour.
I mean, yeah, look at this. This is so I was looking at when you're setting up a race now because they have like some of the weather systems integrated already. Like the change in weather. So in a dynamic weather situation, it'll change as the race goes on. And so right now you can implement that where it affects like cloud cover. And that's like cloud cover and heat is the only two things it's going to it integrates with. So I mean, we saw this at I think it was Darlington last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but once the cloud cover went over the track, cars are going like 2 seconds faster a lap once
Yeah,
cloud
the
cover
extra
hit.
grip.
Yeah. So the fact that you can set like this is crazy now where you can have like a radar and forecast and what it's going to look like for the next hour or 2 hours in sim, like that's just it's crazy. But puddles, in my opinion, have always been kind of borked because every game that does it, when you hit a puddle, it's not necessarily hydroplaning, you just hit like a brick wall.
Right.
And so there's no hydroplaning, it just slows the car down. That's not really what happens.
No, you keep going the same speed. It's just you lose the traction. You can
Right.
feel it in the wheel. And I'm hoping that they stay true to that and it's not just a, arcade feeling
Yeah.
when you hit a pedal.
Yeah, I'm excited. What is this? An improved initial experience when you are racing is challenging. Is this the new in-game? Interesting. I didn't even see this update. So this is an artist rendering of what the in-car or in-simulator UI is going to look like. Interesting. Anyway, so I'm kind of excited because it's supposed to, if everything goes the way it's planned, like I think it was Mexico. I don't remember what track it was. It was an F1 race where Verstappen, it was raining that day and everyone was driving on the same line. Well, in F1 and the wet tires, obviously the colder they are, the better. They wear a lot less, but they also require water for traction. That's just how they work. So when everyone was racing in line, he went outside of the line and went from like last place to fourth in like 5 laps because he was 10 seconds faster a lap, 12 seconds faster a lap just by driving in the water. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to be. I'm going to be in a lot of practice sessions I probably will not join a rain race anytime soon. Because I think it's going to be a whole different animal. And the drivers, I mean, if you think they're bad now, just put some water on the track and see what happens.
Well, I think you're going to have, aspects about it where it's going to be, they're going to have to tweak it a little bit here and there. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be mastered the first time they release it. Um, yeah, they're probably going to have to do some tweaking. It's probably going to be like too much at first,
Yeah.
and it's going to be hard to get used to, and you're going to have cars flying off the track.
Yep.
Um, but I'm interested in seeing when they do roll it out to oval. Are you going to have like you're going to get to pick you know, are you going to get to pick rain tires that you put on like earlier than everybody else and gain that advantage? Or are you going to get to stay on dries for as long as possible, kind of thing? That's what I'm wondering. And is the wear on the tires different? Like if you stay on the wet tires and on a dry track, are you going to wear your tires a lot faster
Yeah.
than like the slicks?
It's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah.
I don't think um if I remember like F1, because that's the only real rain example you have now. But in F1, the wet tires don't really wear that fast. Granted, they're forced to change tires anyways, so even if wear was super bad, you wouldn't really know, and those cars get faster as the race goes anyways. So I mean, I don't think there's really any telling what's actually faster and not. But yeah, I'm curious how the whole system's going to be implemented. It's going to be a huge change that I think is going to be fun in practice sessions for a long time. And then the only really course or the only really option you have in ovals is on road courses anyways, because unless it's short track they do rain too, right?
Some.
Yeah.
I think like Martinsville, they tried it out. Richmond, and then they were planning on Phoenix if it ever rains there. Which I mean, in the spring it may rain there. I don't know, but yeah, just and then they were thinking about Bristol, but I don't think they've tested that yet. I don't know if Bristol's going to be viable because it's so it's not it's a short track, but it's like you're going pretty quick for how short of a track that is. So
Right.
I don't know if they would actually do that.
Right. It's gonna be I'm excited for it, man. I like when things get updated and we get a little bit of something new. Fun. All right.
Yeah, especially that SRX car. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Man, so ASR, I don't know if you saw in the chat about ASR, but once the SRX car is released, I think they're going to be doing a Saturday SRX league. It sucks that they scanned the whole car and got everything ready, and then the series was canceled. But so which means there's going to be no updates to the car.
Not ideal, but I mean they have a lot of examples of how a short track car should act.
Yeah.
With the late model and the super late model, so
Yep.
like I think that they can tweak it to be a really good car.
We'll see what they do, man. We know what happens when series get canceled. iRacing just leaves them off to the wayside.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the truck race. So B-Right starting out on pole. I don't know that if there's been a time when he's ever not been on pole for a Daytona or Talladega race, honestly. He's
Some people just have it as super speedways. I can never get that extra 10th at the super speedways.
Dude, I don't know what this guy does, but he won't share even with his teammates how he figures it out. But he is constantly like always in the front every freaking time. It's ridiculous. I'm his teammate and have been like multiple times, and he will never tell me. But good for him. It was a 17 car field, I believe. So we were starting off with D-Right in the D-Right in the front row. Why is this not working? Oh, there we go. D-Right in the front row. Ryan Gomes second. Butch No third. My paints didn't load. Come on, Trading Paints, work with me here. Merle in fourth, Eddie fifth, Joe sixth, Tim Likens, then Kevin Grams, Rick Ward, Ryan Likens, Riley Gomes Jr., Trey Spears, myself, Charles Balance, and Matthew Allen, and Sylvain Seguin to wrap out. Oh, look at that ugly Chevy. That's for you, Eddie. So that's where we started out. This race actually went green for a long time.
That's what I
Actually,
heard.
I think the only caution was the stage, if I recall correctly. Now, that doesn't mean we were without incident, because it did happen a few times. We're going to watch me here for a second, because I'm pretty sure I'm almost involved in one here. Go to a different camera. So I'm pretty sure that I either lost the pack. I can't remember what happened here, but I ended up losing the pack. I went 2 laps down. Check up here. Oh, I think this is the one that happens on the front straight.
Since you raced both cars this week at Daytona, what would you say was the biggest difference between the way the trucks draft and versus the way the NextGens?
The outside line does not work in the trucks. Have no idea why. It doesn't work. You can be out there, you can be side drafting, you can do whatever you need to do. It does not work. Next gen cars, that outside line, it can get going pretty quick. These cars are, the trucks are hard to push in, and you can lose the draft so easily, but you can the next gen nows with the new body models. But it is so easy to lose a draft and it's so hard to suck up and close that quote unquote bubble in these cars, or in the trucks, I should say. So like, I'm full throttle and I have a hard time catching people here, and it's crazy. You can see we're 3 cars back there in front of Junior, and oh yeah, this is where Devin goes straight into the wall. Hang on, let's go review that, because I like watching Devin crash. Sorry, Devin. He's my teammate and owner, and I still enjoy it sometimes. This is like the biggest one. Devin gets tagged by Ryan Gomes. Yeah, so Ryan Gomes gets hooked. Devin goes straight into the wall and goes down pit lane. Now, at the beginning of all of our races, we always go to, watch me slide and drift through the grass. We always go to turn off our tires and turn off our fast repairs. So, because we don't want to use them early in the race unless we like absolutely have to. So Devin gets a meatball flag, and Eddie mentioned this actually in the race yesterday. Was that something that iRacing should implement? Is if you have your fast repair off and you get a meatball flag, it should automatically turn it back on. Because we're trying to save fast repairs because it's Daytona. You never know what's going to happen. But if you forget to turn it back on, Devin gets like 45 minutes of required repairs here. So like, he's out. There's no way you can come back from that, but you can't get out of the pit box because you still have a black flag. There's nothing you can do at that point. You're just stuck there. And so like, it's unfortunate, but it's, you also have to just manage that. So it I don't know. One of those you don't really have a choice.
I had a few incidences in the race, and I was saving that. I had a couple of bruises throughout the race, but I was saving that quick repair just in case I had major damage like this. And when I got it late in the race, I definitely used it.
Yeah, for sure. So went through the grass. I did some excellent in my opinion. Wreck avoidance here. Locked them up, slid the truck sideways, practiced my Bristol dirt through the grass. Oh god.
Oh, you didn't even touch anybody, did you?
No, not a single person, man.
When I first seen you do that, I thought you hit the side of the other truck, but it looks
Nope.
like you didn't.
Didn't touch anyone, man. I was super proud.
Yeah,
Got hooked back up with Matt Allen here, and then this is just kind of, we just went along. There's not much you can do at this point. Then Stage came out. Oh, Stage had a fun fun finish to that. That's right. Go back to the front of the field here. Likens is not the front of the field. Who was it that was sideways? Someone was like up in the air for this win. Yeah, that one.
Did he win the stage too?
He won the stage, yeah.
Well, hey, you can't beat that.
No, he won the stage backwards on one wheel.
It's actually one of the most realistic truck crashes I think I've ever seen in iRacing.
Yeah, so check this out. He literally on one wheel
That was a close finish too.
crosses the line right there. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Wins by a nose backwards on one wheel. Yeah, it was good. It was fixing to be a really good finish to the stage there. Awesome that he got the win backwards. That's pretty cool. All right. So then basically the rest of the race is pretty uneventful for like everybody. Green flag pit stops, and then we'll go to 2 laps left. Go to the leader. Who is the leader? I think D Wright won this one. Of course, I can't find his number now.
One down.
Yeah, there you go. I think I'd figure that out by now. So pretty sure so this is Eddie and D Wright on the outside line. I'm 2 laps down. So I kind of was not really trying to be in the way, but definitely got in the way. Sorry. Not sorry. Trying to get my teammates the win here. So, you know, it happens. It's teammates racing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I wish I had a teammate yesterday. I tell you that.
Yeah, you definitely need them. Hey, there's lots of free agents out there. Y'all can create your own team. There's lots of free agents. Pretty sure that's with Ryan. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, we touch. I go down this white flag lap, so caution's not going to come out. Definitely was not intentional, but I just went off to get off the track because there's cars coming. Pretty sure that one of them hits Riley or Ryan. No, they don't. And then D Wright goes on to win the race. Oh, that's right. Eddie was a lap down too. So Eddie was right.
You get 2 lap down cars helping the lead lap cars.
Well, when they're on the same team, bud, we're gonna push our team to the win for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much that's the truck race. There wasn't a lot that happened. Green flag pit stops.
Looks like you guys were spaced out quite a bit too.
Yeah, we were. Because there was a couple of incidents. Well, there was like the one that I showed earlier that I was involved in, and then because the only caution we had was the stage caution, and it just something had to have happened after the stage.
Was it just green flag pit stops that separated you guys that much?
Yeah, it looks like it because everyone's lap times were about the same. I know Eddie had a problem with his green flag stop, which put him at the back of the field, and lost the draft. And so I had lost the draft too from that incident. So I was like, well, I'll just go join Eddie and go another lap down. What does it matter to me? I wasn't racing for anything. So, yeah, it was a pretty spread out field. Surprisingly. Let's pull up the next gen race and we'll start going over that for the next 3 hours.
That was definitely eventful.
Yeah. The next gen race was a lot. So I did win the next gen race. Surprisingly, I started on the front row. Well, second row, third row actually, because the way that the lineup happened.
So what was up with the lineup? Was it just a couple no shows that moved us up, or
So Cheeseburger won. If you don't know, that's Michael Lawrence. He won the second duel, which put him on the no. D Wright qualified first. Cheeseburger, I think, was second, something like that. So the front row's locked in by qualifying, and then everything's set after for the duels after that. So Cheese, I think, was second in qualifying. So when we set the grid up, since it's a fixed grid, Cheeseburger was second on the outside line, and then everything was going to fall in behind him. Well, we knew Cheeseburger wasn't going to be here, but we still had to put him on the grid because he was part of the race. So when he didn't show up, it moved everybody else up one, not just the outside line. So, yeah, so third went to second, which put him on the outside. So basically it swapped the lines behind D Wright. Now, depending on who you are, that's either beneficial or not. Because do you want the bottom line or do you want the high line? So
at Daytona though, I mean, I still am a big believer that qualifying doesn't matter too much.
it doesn't unless you have a race like we did, where you want to be in the front because the riffraff's behind you. So
yeah,
not saying that there's any riffraff, but this is the first race. I think we have, what is our field? How many rookies are?
Oh, I thought you meant total field from yesterday.
No, we have 12 rookies in this, and there's 34 drivers, I think, that showed up. 32 drivers, something like that. So we have 12 rookies in the NextGen series. So you have to think that those 12 people alone have not raced around any of us. Just them. Well, except for Riley Gomes. Riley Gomes has raced around us in the truck series, just not NextGen. So that's 37 people that are signed up that have to get used to racing around each other. It's an official race now where you don't know anybody on that grid and you got to find your teammates. But here you have teammates too. So that you hopefully have raced around. That's why you joined the league with them. But it's kind of a toss-up. I mean, it can go really clean like it does in the truck race or the second duel last week, where the second duel there wasn't a single caution, or it doesn't. We get it raced like last night, which the racing itself was clean until we had the cautions. So
yeah, the stage break was a good finish too. I know I was right behind that.
Yeah, it was.
Luckily, I squeaked in there for top 10 in the stage, so
yeah,
that was the highlight of my race, I think.
Yeah, I didn't get any stage points because I dipped out. Well, I think it was after like the second caution. I was getting distracted by everyone talking about, about everyone needing to, what is up with this thing? Needing to have a black flag cleared or something. So I'm trying to do this 200 miles an hour with people surrounding me. Isn't the easiest thing, but when everyone started pushing too, it was getting a little squirrely up front. So I dipped out. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. So I dropped off to the apron. Unfortunately, I didn't tell my teammate. I'm sorry, D Wright. So I'm sure he checked up or something. I'll look at that because I bailed. And tried to catch the end of the pack and didn't. So then I was just driving by myself for a long time. It was awful.
That's the most boring thing about these, like the Talladega and Daytona races, when you get caught out there by yourself. It's so boring because there's really no skill to driving around a big track like that.
Yeah. So we started off with myself, Eddie, and D Wright 1, 2, 3, or on the bottom line. And then we had Josh up top. Looks like there's Brett's up there too. And that's Matt Allen up down the front row too. So think a caution comes out soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, lap 2.
Let's go on board D right here for a minute because we can see the caution flags. Man, I could not race single monitor again. Yeah, so our goal here is just kind of line up and just go. Oh, Devin was involved in this first one. No, he was involved in the second one. Thought it comes out relatively soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Let's go back until... That's when we just crossed the start-finish line. Yeah. So, let's go back to the field. Oh, hey, look. People everywhere. So you can see, like, they're already split up. Like, there's... even when you're this far back, there's no recovering from this. Like, you're too far gone. And he's only, like, what, 0.3 seconds behind? It's crazy how fast you lose at draft at this track.
But also on the reverse side, the runs are so big in these
Yeah.
cars. You do have a run.
Yep.
You almost have to take it, or else you're gonna slam the back of a guy.
Yep. Oh, it was Charles' balance there. What it was. I think he taps the wall and comes down. Yeah, he kind of loses it off of 4, comes down. And look what happens to Devin. The same exact thing that happened to him in the truck race. Just not as hard.
Time. Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't have to use the faster for this time.
No. Someone's bumper, they need to come collect their property. So that was the first.
A lot of bumpers yesterday.
There was a lot of bumpers. Hoods too, man. They were everywhere. So that was the first caution. And then... I think this is where... Oh, no, I'm still with them. Go look behind us, because I don't remember where this one happens either. Like, you can see... Oh, there it is.
I know one of them I barely missed. I think that was towards the end of the race, though.
I think Provi maybe gives him a bad push. No, right outside. Make contact, and you're done.
Yeah, once you tap that right rear like that, there's no getting out of it.
No, you're done. You're done, bud. So, yeah, that's that one. That's the second caution of the day. That was lap 10. Third caution was lap 18. Oh, yeah, this is... I had dipped out before this. On this lap, I think. Right here. Yeah, a lot of people need a lot of things. And I was like, bro, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. They're getting like super pushy up there. I was like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Oh yeah, no, I was right in the middle of that, but I was holding firm because I really wanted to get them stage. I think I was in 11th, and I was just trying to get them stage points that way. No matter what happened at the end of the race, I could have something to show for it.
Yeah. Yeah, stage was on lap 30. We got 15 laps to go until stage here. I think you did lead the lap, didn't you?
I led 2, actually.
Yeah. So that is... that's a bonus point. So you got 1 there. All right, what happens here? Oh, you get cut off.
Yeah, I got left out to dry a couple times during the race yesterday.
Yeah, and by Eddie and Joe. or Richardson. See, I'm like back there by myself now. Way back there. Way back there.
Wow, I didn't realize that. If you go back a little bit, look at how many times I bump him down that backstretch. Oh my. I didn't realize I did that, honestly. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That was 4 right into the corner.
Isn't he pushing someone too? Man, you guys got lucky then. You don't
No,
push the pusher.
so if you speed up a little bit, we actually pulled away by like half a straightaway almost. Just a 3-car breakaway here. I was trying to see if we could pull away and maybe go another 10 laps without the pack behind us catching up, because I know that they weren't grouping up good enough. Like they weren't staying in a straight enough line to catch us, and we were pulling away. So I was pushing my little heart out.
Yeah. If all 3 cars stay lined up like square, you can push the pusher, but it's getting those 3 cars lined up that's the problem. But
I noticed there's a couple times I came out of the corner, like when I moved up that line, that was unintentional.
yeah.
I ended up getting a run on the guy ahead of me. I think it was the 99, and I didn't want to right hook him, and I ended up above him, so I just decided to go high. And that happened a couple times because I would just get such a good run.
Yeah. Like I said, man, when the racing was green, it was good racing. And it's crazy how much. Ooh, man, he bailed. That was Duvendak. It's crazy how much the 3rd car determines how fast that line goes. If it's just 2 cars, okay, better than 1 car. But 3 cars, that 3rd car is really the determining factor as to what that line's going to do. If they're close to your bumper, you can pull away easy. But if they're not close, like if the 2nd and 3rd car aren't close, you're screwed.
Yeah, I got that in the race last night.
Yeah. 4th gear can help if you catch back up. You can push the pusher. You cannot hit the pusher. There's a fine line between rolling to someone's back bumper and connecting and slamming into the back of them. Josh, we understand. You're absolutely right. Man, I can't even say something sarcastic about that. You are correct. I tried. Didn't work for me. But yeah, I'm back here all by myself. Me, Carlton Charles, and Trey Spears. Just turning laps. Oh, hey, there's a caution in front of us. Garrett Fox.
I think I ended up being right behind this too.
It's slow-mo this. 23 hooks him. And then everyone else gets involved. Oh, almost clear. Nope. Yeah, let's see that from the 91.
Oh, he about took off too. I seen him get some air.
Ooh, 97, Kevin. Oh, no, that's not Kevin.
I think that was the 9. Or
Not Brock. Was it him? Oh, Reckon dropped to the inside. I got this. I'm clear. No, it wasn't him either. Who was it?
'97.
Yeah, it is Brock.
I don't think he hit anything though, well, other than the guy that hit him, but it doesn't look like he hit anything else major, so I don't think he got too much damage.
No, good job locking it down though. And we're rolling. Man, someone almost hits him though.
Yeah, that was close.
Oh, I see why Trey freaked out and went inside for sure. Josh, bump drafting is more of an art than it is skill. That one started because I gave the 45 a bad bump, caused the top line to check up in accordion. Unclaimed incident, Josh? We'll have to go back and review it. Okay, so this is lap 19, so that's this caution. So that's third on the night, which I think at this point everyone was hoping that it would have gone green, but it didn't. No green flag racing for us, for sure. And then... Well, the stage was at 35, not 30. So let's see. Who won the stage? I can't remember. This stuff was last night. No. No, it happened. I'll remember that, Josh. We'll go back and look, bud. Don't worry. I'll get the admins together for this one. Sim Racer Hub. Admin. Stage D right won this stage. Figures. Always D right. He's running like fifth right now.
That was getting dicey there.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, checking up on the inside. Oh, Joe Wright and Eddie Morris are going for it. They're 1 and 2 right now. B Wright's back there in fourth, Devon's in fifth. They were gonna come to that's right, they were gonna come 1, 2, 3, 4 to the stage. They almost had it. Neon almost swept the stage. And then the caution comes out right there. Right before it happens. What happened here?
That was the one I took blame on. That was a bad push by me.
Oh, good job, Tyler. It's Tyler, right? Not Tylor?
Yeah.
Tyler.
Hey, at least you didn't call me Taylor. Everybody calls me Taylor.
Do they really?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I see an O, so I assume it's Taylor. That doesn't make sense.
Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice. Cheese and rice. Oh, yeah,
I
bad
got
bump.
right corner.
Bad bump. It happens. Happens to a lot of us. So then we go to the stage. Then let's go to the next caution.
I think this one happens. It's so hard to tell what cautions what. There were so many.
There were so many. It was crazy.
There was a lot of incidents that didn't even bring out a caution yesterday.
There were, yeah, that's the thing with Daytona is that it's so there's so much runoff space for the cars that there's no, here we go. It's so easy for them to not throw a caution, you know, because there's so much off space. And it happened in the duels a few times where it should have been a caution and it wasn't because there was nobody competing around them. The infield on the tri-oval doesn't count.
Right.
The back straights has that huge concrete area that if you're down there, it's not on the racing surface.
Man, some of these wrecks.
Mm-hmm.
So hard.
A bad push from Carlton caused it all. All right. Lap 44. Which one was the next one? Go to someone that was on the lead lap. So D right. So yeah, that's 44. Everyone blinked out on lap 50. That Josh said that one Cosmic Code Brown. Okay, let's go on board with Josh then. Oh, is the next one? Maybe it's the next one he's talking about. Yeah, because everyone split up, so it must be the next one. 44. Okay, so then we go green here. Oh, is this the one where you had the force field, Josh? You're supposed to stay off the yellow line, bud. Joseph Wright said this last night where it felt like these cars were wider because he was like on the yellow line all the time. So I don't know if I don't know if anything changed. I don't think it did, but There was a lot of people like eating that yellow line on the inside.
especially in the tri-oval. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed.
Oh yeah, this is Josh's. Uh, no, no one threw the yellow on that one. Oh, he used the force in the green white checker. We'll review the 3 green white checkers were good. That's how I went from like 15th to first. Yeah, field splits up here, and then caution has to come out somewhere. What's the next caution? Right there. Who's sideways? I see the smoke. Oh, is this the one I thought I was clear of and didn't end up getting clear? Oh yeah, that's where I'd take my fast repair. Okay, so
Yeah, he kind of came out of nowhere.
yeah. Okay, so it was a bad push from oh, wrong way. From Joe Wright on who is that? On Sylvain. And then it kind of just stacks up here.
Was it the 27 that came down that you hit? Yep, looks like it.
Yeah. Yeah, the 127, Matt Allen. Matt Allen? God dang it. Feels like no matter what I do, I can never get away from this freaking guy. I will say, this paint job on his car looks freaking awesome. I like the sparkle on it. Like, looks like a bass boat. Looks good.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that at first. That's nice.
Yeah, his truck does the same thing apparently, but I didn't pay attention in the truck race. But yeah, Matt goes back up the track, and then, hey, let's go back down the track and assault Hartney, because why not? The frustrating night. For all of this to happen and then still win the race is incredible.
So you use your fast repair after this one?
I did, yes, because I didn't know how much damage I had. And the previous damage I had already had me off pace where I couldn't even draft with people. Like even if I was in a pack, it wasn't working. So pretty sure, yeah, I go in here for the fast, maybe next lap. I don't know. No, I didn't. I don't remember. When did I use my fast repair?
It was a long night.
Yeah, I must not have used. Oh, this is the one where I was like, okay, how's my? I asked Devin how my car looked, and he's like, yeah, it's not bad. And I was like, oh, well, cool. I can't even draft with anybody. Here, everybody, just get in front of me. Everyone, just go around me because this isn't working for me. And here's another caution. For what though? Who's sideways this time? Oh, up there. Carlton, Charles, and Tim Likens. I think this is where Carlton calls it a night. I think this would have been the second one because he comes back up on track and yeah. Not a great move. Not a great move.
Yeah, going a little faster on that corner.
Well, he went up in an extremely aggressive manner. Like no one
Oh yeah, you're right.
no one's gonna no one's gonna predict you doing this. If you're on the apron going into the corner, they kind of expect you to stay on the apron. They don't expect you to come up the track.
Right.
So, yeah, that's where Carlton called it a night. That would have been his second incident anyway, so per the rules, he would have been parked. That was 55. We had a whole string of cautions here. Is my car fixed? Kind of. Okay, so this is the one where I was pitting over and over again to try to get whatever repairs done I could. And then let's go back to the pace car, because that's the easiest way, in my opinion, to find out when a caution is. Who's sideways? I see smoke. Oh, why am I in a wall? Oh yeah, this is Garrett Fox. Garrett Fox did apologize to me. No hard feelings, bud. If you're watching this, it doesn't matter. I won anyways, so it doesn't matter.
I was gonna say, if you didn't win, would there be hard feelings?
No, there wouldn't. I'm not me personally, I'm not that type of person. I get shit happens. It is what it is. I don't think anybody in the league currently tries to wreck people. If they tried to wreck people, they wouldn't be here. We've had to kick out some people recently because of that. But I'm legit, I'm the nicest person to hit and get an accident with, because I don't care. It is what it is. Even though it's a simulator, it's a game. We do this for fun. And for me, as the admin or one of the admins, I have to look at the bigger picture. Getting mad over something like this is not productive. My goal is to help build the league and get this league as big as possible. And if I'm yelling at people, how does that look for race control? You know?
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
If you're a driver and race control comes over the radio, what the hell are you doing? What would that look like? Not great. So unfortunately, I have to have a level head at all times, which is why I do what I do, because I'm not one to lose my mind over something like this. But yeah, man, he just comes down the track. He said that he had some steering damage, and he did. Like, if you go in car with him, you can see it. And he gets like stuck on the wall. He tries to come off the wall, and when he does, he comes off too hard, too aggressive, I should say. Not intentionally, it happens. And I think that when he hit the wall, it screwed up his wheel even more than what you can see it's cocked right big time. So yeah. I think when he hit the wall, it made it a little bit worse than what he was used to already dealing with. So when he turned left a little bit, it turned left a lot harder than he expected it to. He gave us plenty of room, and I don't know why he turned right into the wall in the first place, but it is what it is. And then just hits me, and I think frustration is part of this, of it happening, but like the car's rolling, I couldn't get the thing started. I turned it off on accident because I don't use the auto start feature. I have buttons for the ignition and for the starter.
Do you utilize that to like save fuel?
Absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely.
Does it actually make a big difference?
Absolutely. 100%. All-Star race, and we're still friends. Yeah, Josh, you did dump me in the All-Star race, and you won it, and we're still friends. Absolutely. Yeah, so when you're in a pack full throttle, it's like 0.3 to 0.4 gallons per lap used. If you're pacing the field in third gear under yellow, it's like 0.2 gallons used. If you're in fifth, and this is a hint for everybody out there, that's Nudie told me this. He's one of the old admins. Nudie told me this like the first season I was with the SCSRA. When you're under caution, for whatever reason, highest gear, so fourth in the trucks and fifth in the NextGens, keep it at speed, 10 miles an hour over, cut the car off, clutch in, let it coast back down to 5 under, and just do that over and over again. Because if you do that, especially at a track like Talladega, we were using 0.1 gallons per lap under caution. So it does make a difference. On short tracks, how much of a difference, I don't know. But I know on tracks like Daytona, it makes a huge difference. I finished the race with 0.2 gallons left. And that was just from saving under that last caution.
Have you ever tried that at a place like Michigan, like during a race while it's green flag?
Yes.
Like, have you ever tried shutting off in the corner?
Yes, I have done that as well.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try that, but I didn't know if it made a difference or not.
It does. It does, absolutely. When the engine is off and the throttle is not active, it makes a big difference. It can, especially under cautions, like at a place like Michigan. I actually pushed one of our old teammates to a win because he was running low on gas. So like I would just keep pushing him and he would be at like 80% throttle and I'd be full down and the field caught us, but he barely won. But yeah, it makes a difference if you can save on cautions, because that's the difference between finishing a race and not finishing. It can be. It's that dramatic on a big track like Michigan too. So if you haven't done it before, it's probably a good idea to start. I think this is where I take my fast repair, because my car's pretty jacked up already. Yep, there's my fast repair. Now, also, what's crazy is I actually didn't plan on getting tires, but it was under caution, so it doesn't matter. I went 143 laps in the Daytona 500 without getting tires.
Wow. Well, how was it driving at the end of that?
Just fine. I was top 5 the whole race. After 143 laps, my front right tire was at 92%.
Wow.
Tires don't matter at this track. Same thing with Talladega. They do not matter. You could go this entire race without changing your tires once. Promise. Unless they change something with the tire model between now and Talladega, it's an option. Because you have to think, so like to change 4 tires and fill up on fuel is 13.4 seconds, roughly. Okay. So if you just change tires and only get, I think it's like 12 gallons of gas, it's like 11.8 seconds. Changing right sides only with 1 can of fuel is like 7 seconds. So it's all a time on pit road game. Now with as many cautions as we had, it's a little bit different, because you can go in and fuel up every time, but every time you do that, if anybody's left out there that doesn't pit, I mean, you're behind them. So you have that game to play. But yeah, it's a tire. Tires don't matter at this track. It's amazing. Garrett, we got to take a break real quick. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to take care of something with my kids real quick because they were being nuisances to my wife. Let's see here. I guess Garrett is watching. Let me see here. Okay, so back under caution. I gotta figure out what's going on with this microphone. Anyways, back under caution. Luckily, you didn't miss anything while I was sitting here, because we go right back under caution if the field starts again. Garrett. So yeah, Garrett is watching. He messaged me on Discord. Truly, but no hard feelings. Even if we did, I didn't win. Truly, but don't worry about it. Front of the field again. This is on the restart.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who's there?
It's Garrett.
Hi, Garrett. You're on the air, bud.
What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Good, dude. I was watching YouTube in the living room and saw this popped up live, and I was like, hey, I ain't doing nothing. I could jump in here.
Yeah, bud. Welcome to the show. For anybody that doesn't know, Garrett Fox, we've spoken about him a few times now. He does race with us in the NextGen series. Do you race the truck series too?
No, I don't.
You should. What I'm saying.
I mean, I will. Don't tempt me.
Please do. We need the people.
But we just saw. Unfortunately, anybody that was watching saw what happens. So,
I mean, there's no problem with that as long as you don't do it again.
no.
So explain. So Garrett, from your end, explain what happened on that one.
So yeah, I mean, literally, I got involved in a wreck early, or I don't know what was it, 20, 30 laps before that, and got some pretty bad damage. Took a fast repair. Then 10 laps later, got another wreck and had to sit in the pits I was probably in the pits for 20 laps and taking required and optional, all the optional repairs, thinking I would be fine. I went back out there and it was still not turning, and obviously a toe link or something was still broke. Wheel was bouncing everywhere, so I tried to stay up. It was turning hard right, so I tried to stay out of the way enough, but not get too close to the wall because I knew it would be easy to get sucked into it with it turning right the way it was. And yeah, I don't know if there was a bump on the track or if something broke more, but I shot to the wall and I tried turning down off of it, and obviously turned way too hard than I expected it to do. And you were the innocent bystander.
Yeah, it happens, man. Yeah, you were on pit road for a while.
Oh man, I was in the pits for a good. I mean, it was I think it was 21 laps down, which doesn't make it any better. So.
Well, it's okay. I still won. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though I have teammates, which most of them wrecked out too, but I was rooting for nobody but you after that. I felt so bad.
Man, it truly, you hit the right person. I can't say that anybody else, well, I can't say that many other people would have taken that as calmly as I did. Did you
Yeah.
Did you watch Guy's broadcast?
No. No. So I as soon as that wreck happened, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not waiting for any more repairs. I need to sit out of this one. And I jumped on there and rewinded just to watch the replay, but I didn't see the whole rest of it.
Okay, so he comes. So I had my driver cam on last night, and so he goes to me. He goes to me and he's like, and I'm just like deadpan, just staring at my screen and put my head down on my microphone.
I think I would have had the same reaction.
Just put my head down on my microphone. So who's claiming that one?
Yep, I think that was pretty obvious.
Yeah. But
I'll tell you what, man, I did 4 official 500s, the full length, and I've done I did a bunch of the shorter, what were they, 40 lap or 35 lap A class 500s, and none of them had that outcome, so I hate that. But
when I did the 500 for my race, I didn't drop below the top 10 for 200 laps. I came in 4th in mine.
Yeah.
I was super surprised. We had a caution like every 35 laps, which was perfect for fuel runs.
Right. Right.
But it was very clean.
because of the shortened length of these, the fuel capacity is shortened as well, right?
Yeah, so we run 75% fuel, both the Truck
Yeah.
Series and the NextGen Series. So we run 75% fuel with one fast repair. And
Okay.
then 3 sets of tires over the wall, I believe. Yeah, so 4 sets for the race.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But, all right, so where were we? Lap 72.
Don't feel
mm,
bad, Garrett. I had Brian in the 13. He was yelling at me at the end of the race. See why on the last lap. I'm actually one of the causes of the last caution that ended the race.
thank you, bud.
Yeah.
Without you, I wouldn't have won.
Yeah, he was pretty hot about it too, but I was trying all I can to get back to the because I got right hooked.
When we watched it,
Yeah.
man, they're actually it was a bad push for sure, but I don't think that anybody was really at fault for it.
I mean, when you get close, if you're on a green white checker to last lap, at that point,
All bets are off, bro.
it's really expected. Yeah, at that point. I
Well,
mean,
I
I was
was
watching my dad. He was in like 10th on the last restart, and I said, I don't care what happens, you better not lift.
Exactly.
I was in the mindset of like okay, I'm doing good, I'm in the lead. Then the 11 kind of got into me, right hooked me down the backstretch, but I saved it, caused the caution, and I got put back to I think like 23rd. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can still, if I don't let up and I just pedal to the metal, try to push somebody up there, I think I can get a good enough run to get a top 10. So that's what I was going for, and I just did I pushed him on the left corner a little bit too much. But we still had that spin down in the grass that was going to come back up and wreck anyways. So either way, it would have been a caution, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So Garrett makes me take my fast repair here. Thanks, bud. Just trying to save
At
that
least
for
we have one.
Yeah. Man, I had tried so hard to get all of my repairs done so many times.
I was very glad you still had one.
Yeah, me too. All right, we watched that one already. Okay, so that would have been 76. So we went green again, and then we went caution lap 96.
I will tell you the best racing of the day was definitely the green white checkers. Those restarts were pretty good racing.
Were fire. I loved them.
I got the best push I've ever gotten on a super speedway on Devin, and it broke my heart when he pulled out of line and went to the bottom. I thought he was going to let me follow up and let me keep pushing him to the end.
Yeah.
But so he left me up there, and then that's when I got that right hook.
Yeah. He was pushing me though, bud.
Yeah, this was before you got.
Before I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was this caution. No, the last caution, I finally got back on the lead lap. So I had been a lap down for like 30 laps now. And I finally got the wave around the lucky dog on the caution before this, and then I came back like 15th. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens now. But this is the caution that nobody wanted. And this is what starts the green-white checkered shenanigans. Okay, so then we go green lap 100. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm restarting 14th, and being a green white checkered, there is no waiting for anything anymore. So my teammates are in the front of the field. No one out, like Joe and Eddie. Eddie was up front still. Joe was out of the race. D Wright and Devin were both up front too. So I don't have anybody back here with me. So there's no There's no lifting at all. Doesn't matter who you are. We're, as Devin says, we're going to either see the checkers or we're going to either see God or see the checkers. One of the two things is going to happen. And Brett kind of pushes me up a little bit. I just kind of fall in line behind Trey. And then I knew I'm going to get a run off a 2 here. But we both kind of do because he has that draft from up front. And I was like, we going outside, bud. I was close as hell. Was not fond of that. And then accident happens behind us. Was it in front of us? Oh, this was the one that was in front of us. So I gained a couple of spots in this restart. I have a teammate behind me now. There goes Eddie. Eddie and
Oh, yeah,
Josh.
this is the one where I almost wrecked in this one.
Who was involved in this one?
What was the 97?
Oh,
right beside
Blaze.
me.
Okay, so Blaze hits the yellow line. He hits the apron, goes up, hits Josh, and then comes back up, hits Joe, and then I T-bone him. So now I'm damaged again. And I'm pretty sure the race is over at this point. But it's idling fine. So everything's good. But Devin and Josh got taken out on that one.
Seeing all this, it makes me wonder, like, how did you win?
We're watching right now, bud. This is the lesson on how to avoid wrecks, apparently, in a green-white checkered situation. I knew that the outside line was the fastest on restarts, especially coming off of 2. I knew outside was better. But outside is very dangerous at tracks because all accidents go up the track. They don't, unless you're on the back street, they don't go inside. Like, unless you're on one of the straights, they almost always go into the wall. So that's why I don't like the outside line, no matter how fast it is, especially for the first, like, if it's a 100 lap race, 85 to 90 laps, I want to be on the bottom. I do not want to be anywhere near the top line. But even the bottom line wasn't safe this week, so.
Yeah, there was. I don't know if it was just product of these cars and the track and or what, but it seemed like a ton of people were really struggling to hold the bottom. Now, obviously, people started getting damage pretty quickly, but it was hard to get any kind of line formed up or any clean pushes or anything. Everybody was washing up a lot, and everybody was pretty free. So,
Oh, is that the one where Josh used the force field? Hang on. No, because Josh was, I think it was, might have been the first one. Josh, are you still in the chat? Might have been the first one. I want to see this because he uses the force field on one of them and makes it through. It might be the second one. No, the second one he was involved in. Might be the third one then. So, okay, so here's the second restart. Yes. But, okay, which green-white checker did you use the force field? Was the first, second, or third one? The second one you were involved in. The first one you were involved in. Okay. So we're gonna watch from Josh's point of view. Okay, so actually we'll go to mine because this is how we get back up the pack. So we go outside. Everyone wrecks. So now I'm like in 6th place. 7th place. 8th place. But I'm starting behind Merle. It must be the second one, Josh, because the third one is where I had Devin behind me. So here again, my teammate is in the front row, so there's still no help. I could work with the Merle, I could work with Brett or Junior, and we can get up front, which is what we did. So
Isn't
the green
this
here.
a restart where I pushed Devin in front?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really good push on him.
Yeah, dude, outside line wins every time. And of course, Devin's going to bail on you.
And this, I think, was the one that started with me getting right hooked on the straightaway here. Because I got a good push from the 11. I tried to duck down, but I made sure that there was enough room for both of us. When he tried to come down, he right hooked.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah. I don't know how
Good save though.
Yeah, it was until I stacked up the field and it caused a wreck.
Yeah. So, yeah. So he goes into the wall and then comes back down, and then Tylor wrecks the field.
Yeah, I kind of got. I think it was a little net code. Like, not gonna lie, I know that's an excuse everybody uses, but I kind of got like sucked into the 9, and also I think the 51 kind of overreacted, or whatever number that was that shot up the track from down low.
I don't think netcode is a like everyone uses it as an excuse. I don't think it's an invalid excuse or invalid reason. It happens all the time. In the sucking into cars, bro, that happens all the time in these cars. The side draft is freaking real. Like, you get sucked into these cars so easily. Comes down, touches the 9, gets a little sideways. Everyone kind of stacks up there. Number 3 comes high. Why does he come up?
Oh, he got.
Oh, he got hooked by Joe. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to watch this from Josh's point of view, because this is crazy. Like, this is nuts how he does this somehow. Let me go forward a little bit. Activate force field. Doesn't touch a single person somehow.
That's crazy.
And makes it through that. Man, I would, holy Lord, I would lose my mind.
I've never gotten that lucky in my life.
No, me either.
Yeah, I think my dad got caught up in that one too, and he almost saved it on the apron, and then was coming out off the apron, coming out of the corner, and then completely lost it.
Yeah. So here we are. So this is what I was talking about earlier about the turning your car off. I think I realized in the next lap, I'm like, oh shit, I only have, I noticed it here. I was like, oh shit, I only have 1.2 gallons left. So I know that each lap is 0.5 gallons. I started this last stage. You need to show from the outside. I started this last caution, or the last green, white, checkered, with like very, very little fuel. 1.3 gallons, 1.2 gallons, 1.3 gallons, something like that. I couldn't even do a burnout. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, the seas just parted for you.
Yeah, for sure. So this is what I was talking about with the fuel savings, is shut off the car, put it in 5th gear and shut off the car. Clutch drop, just keep saving. Do everything you can.
Sounds like I might need to get a button lock.
Yeah, it helps. Do you have a fire tablet?
No.
Gonna say, if you have like even an Android phone would work. There's an app called hang on, what is it called? Sim Dashboard, I think.
Yeah, I got a buddy that uses that. He's got a tablet mounted in front of the wheel with that.
Yeah.
Hold up on
Sim Dashboard. You can put gauges on it, put anything you want. I use it for gauges for the truck, because when I'm using triples, I actually can't see my dashboard with how close it is in the middle screen. So I can't see the gauges at all. So I use a tablet to show me the gauges, but you can program buttons on there, like for ignition and start button. Just if you have those only 2 things, then you can program those to like key bindings. Oh, does it work on iPhone now? Nice. Oh, you can use the web app. So yeah, there's a web app. There's a web app you can use as well. It's super useful. I use it for American Truck Simulator. I've got a whole button box assigned to it with everything, cruise control, lowering the airbags. Man, go check it out if you don't have it.
Yeah, that'd be useful. And my new cockpit that I got has a tablet holder, so if I go, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, dude, just get an Amazon Fire tablet. I think you can, if you watch on like the deals that come on the 8-inch one goes on sale for like $79 all the time. Best $79 you'll spend for these. And I bought it solely for that. I don't use it for anything else other than that. It's cheaper than a button box is. Unless you make it yourself. But then you have to wire it and figure out the encoding and stuff. So
it would look better if I got one to go on my wheel, like on my the wheelbase itself.
well, you said you don't race. Do you race in VR?
I used to. Actually, this is the first time I've ever raced in triple monitors. I started on single monitor, went to VR, and I couldn't get off of VR because I was running so good. And then I finally got a new cockpit, and I'm able to run triple.
You said earlier that you RS dash. Oh, okay. You said that you used to stream. Do you have a stream deck?
Used to.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore.
Okay. I would say because they have a race. I don't remember what the plugin's called, but a race one where you can do all of the buttons in car and stuff on a stream deck too.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of the name of it. That's what my dad has, a stream deck, and then it has an iRacing. It's some kind of app. It has an iRacing logo on one of the buttons, and then you can do tires and fuel and all kinds of stuff on there.
It's called iRace IT. I have 2 different pages. I have one for admin controls when I need them, and then I have another one that does all the pit boxes. But there is like cockpit switches too, so you can do ignition, starter, stuff like that too. There's lots of options.
Yeah, well, that Garrett just brought up a good point. I could use that for tires and fuel too, because if I look drunk under caution and I'm swerving in and out, it's because I'm trying to reach my mouse and keyboard to try to push the buttons because I don't have them.
Yeah,
I have so many buttons I can map on my steering wheel. So yeah, so I look kind of weird during caution sometimes trying to unclick stuff.
Are you going to get back into streaming?
Yeah, actually I am. I'm going to try to. That's why I set all the stuff up, and then you said something about joining the stream tonight. I'm like, yeah, I'll test it out, see if it all works.
Yeah, for sure. If you're gonna go back into streaming, even the Stream Deck XL, because you can put them all on one screen. Then your black box controls, and also the car controls. Like you can do the brake bias, you can do the starter ignition, all of that just on the Stream Deck. It's super handy. It's It's one of the best plugins I think I've used on my Stream Deck, besides the new Discord one.
I never really thought about using a stream deck like that, honestly. But I have seen I think it's like the 10 buck. It has like 10 light up buttons on there for the stream deck.
So the one I have is 15. It's just the normal Stream Deck Mark II is the, so I just have the normal one, but they have the XL one that has, I think, 25 or some ridiculous amount of buttons on it.
Oh, wow.
It might be even 30. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. But then they also, just so you know, have a Stream Deck mobile version. So you can put a Stream Deck on a phone. So if you don't want to purchase one right now, you can, it's the same 15 button layout on your Stream Deck, and the same apps and stuff work on it. So you can test it out and see which one works best for you.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Thanks.
Dude, I'm a wealth of knowledge and stupidity. Not just knowledge, lots of stupidity. So restarting this race, you've got 2 teammates on each side. So you've got Merle and Provi, and then me and Devin. If in the broadcast, Brett mentions that he had a feeling, he wanted to keep Provi behind him, but he had a feeling that this was going to end their race. Like that the outside line gets such a good jump off of a restart that there's really no stopping it, honestly. So coming to the flag, I'm still saving fuel because I started this with like 1.2 gallons of fuel, and it just had to go 2 laps. But I kind of got a bad jump off of the start. I didn't want to get a black flag for passing the leader. So I got kind of a bad jump, but who's 97? I think that's Trey Spears, was close enough to Devin to get the outside line so much faster. And Ryan Gomes on the inside line wasn't on Provi, so they didn't have that 3-car speed until later.
Yeah, you guys had 4 people in a line
Mhm.
right away. You guys had that speed going.
Yep. So as soon as Devin got clear, we went low. And then this is where the race ends. Is
Into turn 3. You know how I know?
because it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone goes flying inside. There goes Trey, I think. And then he comes back up the track. Oh no. Then all hell just broke loose back there. And then the caution comes back out. And because it was not the white flag, that ended the race. I still kept it floored to the start finish line because I personally didn't know what to do. I've never been in this position before.
I noticed on the broadcast, you were like, I mean, it didn't even look like you won. You weren't excited. You didn't show any emotion. Then you were like all of a sudden like, oh, I won.
Yeah. I didn't, to be honest, man, I'm 5 seasons into the SCSRA and I've never won a race. Never been close, but like for the last 3 seasons, I've been part-time either because of work or because I've been doing race control. So like I'm surprised. So today Daytona went really well for race control, for me being race control. There wasn't a whole lot of issues. It's black flags to clear, which is easy to do. But I didn't have a lot to worry about during the race. So that worked out well. Usually this is the gauge as to when I can race and when I can't race. Daytona is usually my gauge race. And there wasn't a lot of issues, so we'll keep going and see if it works. My goal is to be full-time this season, but you know, there's no guarantee even that will happen. So we'll see. I got to try to make it at least, I think it's 10 or 11 races to be eligible for the playoffs. Devin tries to shove me into the wall here. Thanks, Devin. I was like, bro, get off me. I feel like we got stuck together, which is awesome. And then everyone that came by and did this, man, I appreciate it. Josh, Joe Wright, Duvendak, Gomes, Devin, Butchino, Merle, everyone that said congratulations after the race, man. Huge respect for all y'all. It's Josh, I have yet to win a points race. Right, but you won the All-Star race, bro. You won $100 last time. I'd rather win the $100 race. I'm broke. There's nothing if I win the championship, bud. I don't even get a trophy. I get a congratulations, high five. Let's do it again next season.
It's never a bad thing to win just the money races either.
Right?
I've been there before. I've been the guy that just wins the money races and never wins like the points races.
Yeah. So then we all come to the front to do our little burnout thingamabobbers and take our picture. And I try to do a burnout and I like, okay, and then to start sputtering, I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna come hang out on the Daytona flag then. Literally out of fuel. And that's where
he's like, I've never been here before. I don't know how to spin it like this.
So it was funny at Phoenix last season. Eddie and Devin and I did a lot of practice at that track for some other circumstances, but we did a lot of work on that and we practiced burnouts and how to get on the race winner circle at Phoenix because it's the only track you can, which I think is dumb. But yeah, we actually practiced how to get the whole team up on that platform. It was ridiculous.
So are we, is there any opposition against getting a trophy? I know it costs money, but if we were to, if somebody were to sponsor that to get a trophy, is that okay?
That I don't think would be an issue. We just haven't, hey Eddie, thanks for joining us, bud. We just haven't done it yet. it's something that I think we've talked about and we just have never really implemented yet.
Well, I definitely, obviously I would want to win one, but even
Bud,
if
you
I'm
got to
not able
stop. You got
to,
to stop right hooking people.
yeah, no kidding. I think Daytona's a bad example of that. But even if I can't win one, I think if that's okay, I'll do something. We need to get a trophy for somebody.
Yeah, message Devin
Okay.
and talk to him about that. I'm sure he'd
Yeah.
be open to some suggestions on what we can do.
I mean, another good idea I always thought of. I don't have one anymore, but when I had a 3D printer, I always wanted to print like a big trophy, put it together.
Eddie does have a kind of like calling in sick and getting caught. Eddie does have a 3D printer, so we have toyed around with the idea of getting like printing a trophy or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, there's been conversations about it. I just don't, for whatever reason, we've never implemented it. I don't know why.
I've gotten a couple different leagues. So we did a big, so one of the big things where I race locally is figure eight racing, like outlaw late models and stuff. And we did a big figure eight iRacing league. And so I have a couple trophies from that I had custom made, and it's really not, I mean, it's not cheap, but it's definitely worth it when you get to custom, with your logo on it and everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. So.
Yeah, it's something we can talk about for sure.
Yeah.
Message Devin and we'll see if we can get something hooked up with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eddie says he bought the files to make them too. Well, maybe we should start testing it out. Yeah, I think it would be cool. We've never done it. I don't know why.
Depending on what printer you have and how big it is, it might take you all season to print it. So
Eddie is not opposed to large and long prints. He just printed a dragon that was like 36 hours or some shit. It was nuts. But he enjoyed it. So, and he traded it for some other stuff. So good for him. I've never gotten into 3D printing. Not saying that I wouldn't ever get into it. I don't have any room to put a 3D printer. And I think if I put more stuff in my office / library for my wife, I might get in trouble. So
and it makes it pretty hot. I will say that when it's going for 30 hours or whatever, and you let it go nonstop, whatever room, and it's gonna heat it up.
Dude, my computer already makes this room hot enough. I don't know if it's something I'd want to do, to be honest. All right. So anything else you guys want to talk about tonight? Anybody you want to shout out to while you're on? Garrett?
I apologize to 13 for wrecking them on the last lap.
Yeah, I know you won, but I'm going to apologize to you again and let you know that's not how this normally goes. So hopefully we can get a better run at it next week. But
one thing I will say is you can never use Daytona as a gauge as to any league, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not clear indicative of how the league races, and that's not how our races usually go. You'll see in the next 2 weeks, it's nothing like that. I think in the last 3 seasons, we've gone to Homestead every race. I don't think we've had a caution in any of them, other than the stage caution. So 3 seasons in a row, Homestead has been the track that has produced some of the cleanest racing we see every single season. Michigan, the track's like a mile wide, so we can race 7 wide and be fine. As long as people don't drift up. I'm sure Eddie would be losing his mind right now. Be like, don't say that. But I don't use Daytona as a gauge as to how the league races, because it's not how that works.
Yeah, it's very, it's hard to gauge anything off of that.
And so, Tyler, you were apologizing to Junior. What'd you do to Junior again?
Pushed him till I couldn't push no more.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he got on my I got on his left rear, so yeah.
It happens.
Apologize for that. He was pretty upset about that because
that's what we were gonna look at. I forgot. Damn. Oh well. All right, boys. That's going to be it for tonight. I do appreciate you dropping by. Thank you, Garrett, for jumping in too.
Yeah.
If you guys ever want to join this again, please, by all means, you're more than welcome to. Next time, Garrett, I would say hop into the waiting room and message me that you're in here, and I'll introduce you and bring you in instead of just
I got
jumping in. But it doesn't matter. We got it. It was all fine.
No problem.
All right.
I appreciate you for letting me do that.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, not like I asked. I probably shouldn't have jumped in, but
Nah, don't even worry about it. I enjoy the conversations, man, and that's if anything, that's what this is about, is having conversations with people. We want to eventually. I want to do like sit down interviews with everybody, and like record that and then have that as like individual videos on YouTube. That's something that we can. I'm going to work on later, not right now, but we got other things to worry about. Maybe in the off season I'll work on that. But anyways. So look forward to that. Thank you guys for dropping by. Do appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, audience. Do appreciate that as well. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things. Thanks for dropping by. You'll have a good rest of your night.
Yeah,
all right. See you guys.